Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be reviewing the Swift 2 racing drone. This is a drone from SWELLPRO. SWELLPRO makes some waterproof drones as well. Here it is here. Here's a better picture on the other side of the box. But this is basically a carbon fiber racing drone. It is ready to fly. Comes with the controller, comes with a couple batteries, comes pre-tuned out of the box, and all you need to do is charge your battery and go have some fun. Connect your FPV goggles or screen if you have one. Anyway, let's go ahead and unbox this. What we're going to do, this review is going to be a full review, unboxing, inspection. Don't really need to set this thing up because it's already set up and already also has all the props on and everything. We're going to take it out to the park, do a thorough flight test. It comes with 2 batteries, so I'm going to do 1 battery line of sight, put it through its paces, punch test, speed test, see how it flies just from first person line of sight view. And then we'll go ahead and pop in the other battery and do a full-on FPV flight where you can see what I'm seeing in the goggles. And maybe I'll put on a GoPro or something on the front so you can see the high definition video on board as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and start unboxing this bad boy. Just comes in this plain Jane box here. And like a lot of the RTFs, we have this foam here. I'm just going to pull this out. And that's really everything in the box. We've got a manual here. Going to take out these foam inserts here for packaging and shipping. Here we go. First thing on the top, extra set of propellers. These are black propellers. Also got already installed are some orange 3-bladed propellers. So that's pretty cool. The controller, which stands out pretty good. Now this is some high quality stuff. The fit and finish on this stuff really surprised me here. For an RTF system, everything is labeled very nicely. Might as well go over the controller since we have it here already. We've got 2 trigger buttons, little rollers that each have extents and they spring back. I'm not sure if this is even actually used with this quadcopter, but they're there regardless. A nice sturdy aluminum, different looking kind of handle on the back. And this is kind of cool. On the back here we have these 2 alarm buttons here, and that should be if you're searching for it in the grass or something, just go ahead and press in the alarm and it should sound. On the back it takes 4 AA's. So kind of really the only thing that's a little bit amateur of this is it does take 4 AA batteries, but for some people that could be a good thing. You know, for the beginner racer that just wants an all-inclusive thing and wants to throw in their AA batteries, hey, don't need a LiPo or anything for the controller. Anyways, on the front we've got nicely labeled switches here. This is a 2-way toggle, 2-way toggle. This one's a 3-way toggle, this one's a 2-way toggle. And from the left, this one says lock motor on the top, unlock motor is down. This is lights on or lights off. This quad does have lights on it. We'll go through that in a second. It has a little bit of a screw holder here. If you wanted to put on an FPV monitor or something, you can just screw right into the controller, so that's kind of neat. Here's our 3 rates of flight, 3 modes of flight actually. Stabilize, which is self-leveling without any flippability. It's just going to limit its pitch and roll and won't let you flip. Advanced, which is funny because advanced is actually in the middle. I would have thought it would be intermediate and then advanced on the bottom. So it's saying advanced is in the middle and intermediate's on the bottom. So one of these is going to be like a horizon mode or ratitude, and then one of these should be like an acro mode, which should be the advanced. So we'll have to figure that out in the flight test. OSD on or off, so you can flip that on or off if you're wearing goggles or something or have an FPV screen. Apparently you can turn this off, which is cool if you don't want to see all those numbers on your screen. Of course, just like any quadcopter, here's our controls. So our throttle, our yaw, our pitch, and our roll. This is a left-hand throttle controller. Then we have our little neck strap clip here. And then this is the screen on the front. It looks like they do give us this nice protective coating here. Just going to peel that off real quick. And we've got 2 power buttons. So this one, to power on, instead of just hitting it once or holding in, you have to actually press both. So it's kind of a dual power on system there. A nice rubberized grip sides here that are really grippy actually. Then there's a micro USB slot here, and then this would be like for a trainer port or something. Actually, I'm not really sure what that's for, but looks like an S video out or something. Anyway, we'll check that in the manual before we go out and do our flight. And it looks like the controller, yeah, it's going to kind of balance on the table. Not very good, but you know, it does balance. Probably upside down it balances a little bit better. Anyway, that's the controller. Let me just go ahead and take everything else out of the box before we get to the quad. So micro USB cable for adjusting the flight controller. I believe this uses Clean Flight. So if you wanted to, you can adjust that, hook it up to your computer. I believe this one is very well tuned out of the box. From what I hear from the factory, this should be pretty well tuned. Anyway, they give you an extra motor guard and a couple extra propeller nuts in case you lose some. Here's a charger. So a basic but looking decent charger. It does from 2 to 4S to charge your battery. So if you ever wanted to buy a couple of 4S batteries, you have the ability to charge them, and this is the US plug I got in the box. Speaking of batteries, here are the batteries. So we get 2 3S batteries. So this is awesome for somebody that just wants to spend, you know, the amount of money to get a whole system like this and not have to buy any more batteries. This should get you started. So these are SWELLPRO labeled batteries. These are 3S 2600 milliamp hour 11.1 volt batteries, and 25C it's saying on the top. So these would be really good batteries to get you started, and if you wanted to go up to 4S, apparently this can take 4S as well. I think this thing is pretty well tuned to handle 3S and give you lots of power, so you probably won't have to go to 4S for a while with this one. What's cool about this one is it actually, for the 3S voltage, it performs much better than a lot of equivalent quads in its price range, and it's in this RTF kind of status. So I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised when we do our flight test how much power that it has on 3S. I may bring a 4S with me in the flight test coming up here right after this, and so we can also try it in 4S. But anyway, great deal. They give us 2 batteries, XT60 connectors, of course. And one more thing in the package before we get the quad out. They're giving us a nice wrench, a really high quality wrench here. Now you normally see some cheesy wrench, but this looks like it's a high quality, you know, open-ended wrench here. We've got one side's open-ended, one side's like that, close-ended for taking off and on your propellers, and also looks like it's going to fit, you know, right here to loosen and tighten our FPV antenna. So really excited so far. You're really getting what you pay for as far as quality and stuff. Anyway, that's all there is in the packaging there. Just going to put all this stuff kind of on the side. And let's take a look at the Swift 2 itself. So here we go. So check this out. So 2300 kV 2205 motors. And it's also showing us a direction of spin. So we can see these little arrows here on the top. So when you do put your props on, you have a good little indication of which way the top edge should be going and which way the propellers are going to be spinning. These are already pre-mounted, nuts are already locked on tight, so we don't. Hey, there's Pokey. He's checking us out. What's up, buddy? You like this one? Huh? He probably wants to go outside. Anyway, so like I was saying, these are already pre-installed, all locked down. Lights, here's our LED lights on the back, and this one's kind of cool because this one actually has little blinkers on it. So if you wanted to have the LEDs on, when you do like yaw the stick here, you're going to see blinkers go left and right and stuff like that. So kind of neat. It's got this really nice little foam pad here to grip your battery in, and a pre-installed solid little battery strap. FPV antenna. This cloverleaf antenna is already pre-installed, cranked down nice and tight there. Don't even have to tighten that. It's looking like it's a right-hand circular polarized. We can see that we have the direction of polarization here, and that would be a right hand since it's turning that way. So this is a cloverleaf antenna, and this is the kind where you can just tilt it in any direction and it will stay there. It's got a nice stick so it stays just like that. Nice and rigid. Anyway, nice carbon fiber here. We can see that it's like a boxed carbon fiber really thick top plate here. This looks like maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, maybe even 4 millimeters top plate. It's got these motor guards here, which they gave us a couple of in the box, as well as a couple of extra motor nuts. As we can see, there's no ESCs here. It's just the motor cable running into the body. And so in the inside here in the casing is going to be kind of an all-in-one board with all your ESCs and stuff integrated. So don't have to worry about getting anything wet or shorting anything out. Nice and clean looking design. Really impressed so far. XT60 connector here coming out with this rubber grommet. So, you know, stepping it up a notch with RTFs, and we have a nice rubber grommet here. Here's our receiver antennas popping up here. Doesn't look like they're going to really hit. We don't have to worry about that when we're flying. If we do crash, just want to make sure that if they do tilt over, we cut the motors ASAP, because this is a possibility for maybe cutting the antenna in a crash or something. If anything, you could always make those a little bit more rigid by putting some shrink wrap on them. Anyway, looking down here, there's a SWELLPRO insignia, little sticker logo there. And then here's our FPV transmitter, where we can push this button and we can change channels here. So that's pretty cool. Now, some people think this thing is waterproof. I would really doubt this is waterproof. I think it's kind of weatherproof, where it can handle, you know, some slight mist or clouds or, you know, fog or something, and dust. But I really would not put this through any kind of rain or you know, submerge it in any water, just to be safe. Coming around front here, we see that we have this nice camera box, very well put together with these aluminum standoffs here. That thing is really rigid. And here's our camera. So a really nice looking camera. This thing looks like it doesn't have like that bulging out glass like a wide angle does, but it's a very large camera with a flat looking lens. So and let me just try to push it down if I can. Yeah, so a very rigid movement, so you don't have to worry about this thing, the camera, moving around when you're hitting things or whatever when you're flying. It seems like it's going to stay put. So whatever you angle you put it at, and it can go all the way up to right about there. I'm just pushing it really hard, and it looks like that's our maximum angle. So that's going to be like, I don't know, like 45 degrees or so, maybe 50 at the most. And then you can pull this camera all the way down to level front. If you're a really beginner flyer, you can, and you can't really tilt and pitch up very good. That's okay, buddy. I'm almost done. So you have that option to tilt your camera. So really well built here, and it's really light. I mean, this thing is well put together. At the same time, it's also very light. So just taking a look at the manual here. It's saying right away on the controller, what I was wondering about, looked like an S-video port. It's saying that this one has no function. So as far as the camera, I was kind of wondering what the resolution was. It's an 800 TVL, 5 volt, 120 degree with an f2.5 aperture lens. And the transmitter looks like it's switchable, the FPV transmitter. So you can switch it between 25, 200, and 400 milliwatt. And it's a 40 channel, 5.8 gigahertz FPV wireless transmitter. So that's great. So pretty much that's all we need to know. It just goes through some instructions on how to use it, which I'm going to show you coming up here in a couple of minutes. So you don't even really have to go through this. The cool thing about this one though is it's got a touch screen on the controller. This thing surprised me. It actually has a touch screen where you can go through your modes and change some settings on here via touch screen. So that's pretty cool. Anyway guys, let's go ahead and get this thing out. I'm going to go ahead and charge these batteries up, and let's go ahead and do our thorough flight test like I normally do. We've got 2 batteries to charge, so that'll give us plenty of flight time. I might bring a 4S like I said before, but I'm really anxious to try this outside. Maybe do a little bit more aggressive flying in this video, because I know this thing is really well tuned out of the box. So let me go ahead and charge this up, and let's get out there and fly this thing. Alright, so we're at the park with the SWELLPRO Swift 2. This should be a great test. I'm going to do a line of sight with a 3S battery, quick little line of sight with a 4S battery. I'm not going to fully exhaust the batteries in that line of sight, just so you get a taste of how it is on 3 and 4S. Then I'm going to pop on these Fat Shark FPV goggles, record my goggle view, and show you kind of how it flies in FPV mode as well, and how easy it is to fly. I really have high hopes for this one. I flew it in the house just for a bit, and it seems like the PID settings are tuned very well in this one. It has a lot of power on 3S, as I mentioned in the living room unbox. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and boot this thing up and get started, see how this thing does. Okay, so first thing you want to do is power on the controller. Make sure all your switches are up. And then we're going to power on the quad. What I did forget is I forgot to bring my FPV camera. I mean, not my FPV camera, but my high definition camera. You can mount something like a run cam on here. I have a little wedge mount, and unfortunately I forgot to bring that today. But it does have room for like a GoPro or like a run cam to be mounted up right here, or even on top of the battery here with one of those Velcro strap mounts. But didn't bring that today, so you'll just be seeing the FPV when I do that FPV flight. Okay, really quick with the controller, as you can see, look at this. This is touchscreen. So you can see here that I'm going in and I'm touching the screen here, and I can do like trims, throttle curves, and mixes, fail safes. I can adjust a bunch of stuff just from the touchscreen here, so pretty cool. I was mentioning in the living room that this thing does have an alarm buttons here, so say you lose it in the grass, press this alarm and listen to that. So the quad is beeping as you hold this alarm down. So great way to locate your quad if you're in the grass. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to turn the lights off just to give us a little more power. Don't need the lights on during the daytime right now. And this is the motor lock and unlock here, this button here. So let's go ahead and launch this thing. I'm going to just leave the OSD on. We're going to be in stabilize. You can see how this does have 3 different modes here. So let's start off in stabilize all the way up and unlock the motors. You can see that they're spinning when you unlock them. And let's launch, see how this thing does, line of sight. Okay, so very smooth. Right off the bat, super smooth. Now on this fresh 3S, let's go ahead and do a punch test. Just see how much punch this has on 3S. So from a hover to full throttle up now. Woo! Wow. But you can see how fast that is on even on 3S. A little bit windy up there. It's about 5 mile/hour winds, variable, mainly coming from this direction. But anyway, great punch even on 3S with its 3-bladed props. There's a yaw rate, so real fast yaw here. See how fast that is. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and kind of get out here closer to the park. This is our roll maximum in stabilize mode. Pitch maximum, stabilize mode. Speaking of pitch maximum, let's go ahead and do a full throttle and full pitch test in stabilize. So from a hover, full pitch and throttle now. Woo! Definitely fast. And keep in mind that if you do have the sticks all the way down, the throttle stick, here I'll show you real quick, the props will still spin a little so it won't flip around and fall. So I'm going to full throttle down now. So you see how it keeps its level? Full throttle down now. So really good. It's not going to flip around and fall if you're full throttle down by accident. Okay, so there's a taste of stabilize mode. Switching into, this is a little confusing. SWELLPRO actually contacted me and said that the wording on the controller is mixed up, and they're going to fix that. So I'm going to switch over to the middle, which says advanced, but I think that's horizon mode or Ratitude, where it's going to self-level, because if I switch all the way down, that's acro. So they just need to fix the labeling on this controller to intermediate in the middle and then advanced all the way down. Anyway, so horizon mode, this is stabilize with flips, and it's a little slower to center itself. Let's try some flips. So I'm going to go full throttle up and do a right roll. Wow, so look how fast that is. incredibly fast. So I can do like multiples in this. So let's try a right roll very low. See how easy that is? So real quick, it's a little more sensitive on the pitch and roll. In this mode, you can see how fast that is, but it will eventually get to level. See, if I let off, it slowly levels itself out. Try some more flips. Woo! That was a forced forward flip. Let's do kind of a double or triple roll right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Loads of fun. Let's try some arc flips, like slow arc ones. If you keep on some throttle, and then you can just do like a slow flipping acrobatics. Let's try that. Let's try a front. Woo! So you can do that, but after a while it wants to self-level if you're taking too long. See how you can do them slow, or go fast you can go. And you can do them really low. Check this out. Really easy to do them low. Here's my controls if you can see them. See that? Little punch and throttle, right stick all the way, letting off the right stick and giving it throttle again. That was even a double flip at like 6 feet. So very fast and agile, that's for sure. Let's try acro. Now acro line of sight is difficult for probably most everybody, but I'm going to try it. So it's this switch all the way down. And so now when I'm pushing the stick in one direction and I let off, you see how it'll keep going that way. Let's push it to the left. You see how it just keeps going until you readjust your stick. So you get more advanced, that's how you're going to fly. FPV is a lot easier to fly in that. Let's just try some flips in this. Yeah, it seems about the same rates in advanced acro mode as it was in horizon attitude mode. Woo! So you can really, if you're good at acro line of sight, look at the acrobatics you can do. Nice. So very powerful, very responsive, even on 3S. Cool. Switch back into self-leveling all the way up, attitude mode. It's really aggressive at gaining its level. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me grab this thing. Woo! Remember, it's going to keep the prop spinning, so you got to be careful if you're grabbing it out of the air. Turn off the props. Maybe even do one of these. Check this out. Maybe even get it hovering. Cut the propellers and you can just catch it like that. Cool. So that was a little line of sight with the 3S. And man, I can't get over how awesome that is. That little alarm built in. Just push this button. You hear that? The quad is beeping, so you can go ahead and find it. Really like that. All right, cool. Let me slap in one of these 4S's. Do some acrobatics in line of sight, and then we'll go to FPV. All right, so I got a 4S in here, and this is a 1300, much smaller battery. The ones that comes with are 2600. This is a 1300 4S. This is a 75C rated battery, so lots of immediate punch. So I got this popped in here. Let's go ahead and turn on the transmitter again. Remember to turn on, you got to hold both of these power buttons. And we'll just plug in. And I'm expecting some pretty radical high performance flight with this super light battery and how fast it is. So let's go ahead and get started. Arming motors. Taking off. Ooh, I can tell already. This is going to be quick. We're going to go ahead and turn off the lights. You can see the lights. So yeah, I don't know if you saw those before, but here's the lights. So blue on the back when I push left roll, you see how the blinker is going to the left and right also. forward, they go off, and if you're coming back, they both blink. That's what you can expect for the lights. There's only lights on the back. I'm gonna turn those off, save some power, and check out this punch test on 4S 1300 milliamp hour battery from a hover to full throttle up now. Holy crap. Oh my God. That's insane. Okay, this is awesome. Out of the box RTF. Can you get much better than this? I don't think so. Anyway, full pitch forward in attitude mode, self-leveling, and full throttle. Full pitch forward first, full throttle now. Holy crap. I think this is probably one of the fastest RTFs I have ever seen, if not the fastest. Imagine FPV with this much power. Holy crap. Okay, switching into the fun mode. Let's switch into Horizon Ratitude so I can do flips. Wow. So quick. Oh my gosh. Full throttle down. You can see how it just falls straight. You don't even have to worry about it tumbling. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. That was full throttle, full pitch forward. Look at that. This is a quick little beast. Oh my God, I love this quad so far. Oh, even if you full throttle down and you flipping forward, it won't tumble out of the sky. So check this out. Full throttle, holding full pitch forward. Wow, you see that? Holy smokes. So that's Ratitude Horizon mode. That's insanely quick, man. Let's try some arch flips. So a right, you know what, I'm gonna go in, I'm getting really excited on this one. Sorry, my adrenaline's pumping pretty hard right now because this thing is so fun and fast and controls so well. Anyway, I'm in acro mode, arch flips. Wow. This should have a beeper, so when it gets low, I don't have to worry about it. It should beep. Ooh, look at that, man. Let's try to do a hard acceleration in acro. It might crash because I'm not so good in acro line of sight again. I keep saying that, but let's try. Wow. Woo. See how you can get in trouble because it won't self-level? You gotta be very careful in acro. If you're new to quads, keep it in stabilize or horizon. See how it'll just always self-level. You can tell the battery's getting a little weaker. Look how quick this is. My God. Holy smokes. Just loving this thing. Oh, heard a little beep. Voltage is getting low. Wow, this thing's fast, guys. Get what you pay for, that's for sure. This thing's, I think it's around 4 to 5 for this entire kit. And it takes 4S. Give you 2, 3S in the package, but it takes 4S no problem. And it is fast on 4S. What? 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh! Okay. Crash test. Oh my gosh. I think I must have broke something. Okay. Holy cow. So that was a great crash test. Propellers, 2 propellers down. A little bit of mud. Battery flew out. Velcro strap broke. Arms, fine. No stress marks in the arms, no fractures in the arms. Hit very hard sideways. You can see the propellers are bent pretty bad. They do give you a new set of props in the box. Well, I'm going to put the black ones on. And let's go fly this thing. FPV. Wow, did you see that? How fast this thing is? And look how durable it is. I hit full, I was going down fast and hit hard in that grass. And motors seem okay. It's just 2 props. Wow, So super impressed with this one so far. I mean, if you're gonna get into racing, you kind of know how to fly a quad already, and this is the best one out of the box I have seen yet. That's already tuned. I love the colors. You've got a wealth of information. You have OSD, you have all this touchscreen tuning on your controller and settings. Amazing. Very well labeled controls. Wow, so far very impressed. Very durable too, look at that. Just a little mud and two bent props on that super hard into the grass crash. That would have broken a lot of arms on a lot of other quads. So anyway, let me go slap on the FPV goggles, get that recording. I have this other 4S battery. This is a little bit bigger 1500 65C 4S. Slap this on. I'm going to use this for the FPV here. And let's get this thing up in the air, and so you can see what I'm seeing in the goggles. Okay, so wrench they give you works very well. The red prop nuts are standard clockwise thread, and the black props are counterclockwise thread. So these will loosen this way. Going clockwise, they'll loosen. But anyway, very good setup here. Very good wrench. Like I said before, you never really see this quality of wrench given with these kind of kits. Anyway, two bad props. I'm just going to replace them all with black props, just so they all match, and we'll get back up in the air. I don't have any more thick battery straps, so I'm using these thin battery straps. I've got two of them, one for the run cam and another one for a mini quad. So you know, they might break, but I don't want to put them both on right now and break them both, so it's on there very tight. But let me go ahead and switch these props and let's get up in the air with our FPV. Okay guys, so I've got the goggles on and we are ready to rock. I'm gonna go ahead and start off all fully stabilized mode. The switch all the way, I can't see the controller right now, but the switch all the way to the left should be armed. And check this out, OSD, switching it off and on. So we still have our voltage and our time since armed, but we can turn off that horizon line and that left information up at the top left corner of the screen. Anyhow, I'm going to turn this off. Let's go ahead and fly and see what we can do. Take it way up here. It's right above my head, so FPV is getting a little scratchy. Wonder if I'm on the right channel right now. That should be good. I might be on slightly the wrong channel, but that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. Anyway, so we are in full self-leveling mode. So as you can see, very stable, very quick. This is a 4S battery. I'm going to switch into, this is horizon latitude mode. Try some flips. Nice, so super easy to do flips. Front flip, 1, 2, 3. Wow, so you can see it kind of save itself. I let off when it was upside down. You can see it save itself there. Let's go ahead and fly over here above my head. Over the power lines, come on back. Low and tight. Woo! Little punch out. You know, I'm not the best FPV flyer, but I can still fly. Try to get through some trees here. Nice. So you can see how easy it is to control. Still in latitude mode, but it's doing very well. Let's try to get through some more trees. Nice. Go over the school a little bit here. Oh, getting hard to see, so I just punched up so I can get it back. Pretty cool. So very impressed with this thing. It's feeling really good. Nice. So you can see how simple this thing is to fly. Very precise control. Nice. Whoa. And get away from these power lines. So that was like triple roll. Still in great control. And you know what? I'm not going to attribute this little bit of breakup because of the antenna. I'm going to say I'm probably on not exactly the right channel. So let me go into acro mode. That second to the right switch all the way down. So I'm in acro now. And let's see how this is in acro. Cool. Fly through some of these trees. Let's try some fast flying. Whoa! Almost hit the ground there, but holy crap. You can see how great this thing is at flying. I think I have the camera tilted up maybe at about I think I'm at like 40 degrees or so on the FPV camera. You know what I mean? So here's what we can expect for this. Wow, so really a pleasure to fly. Very fast. Very precise. Really no complaints here so far, except for the FPV breakup, which is probably my fault. Whoa, almost hit the tree there. But as you can see, just totally throttled down on the stick. Woo! Hit some trees and still got through that. Awesome. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. You can do so many flips with this thing. Hello guys, how are you? Oh, hit the tree branch again. Doesn't even phase it. Let's try to get through here. Wow. This is great, man. Woo! Reverse turns, super easy because it has so much power. Let's try to do some more flipping. Get up high. Flip. Wow, that's the first time I ever did that. Upside down, kind of a yaw deal. Seen some other good guys do that. Whoa, watch out for that tree. Man, I'm really having a riot with this thing. Let's try that again. Get up high, upside down. Whew. Oh, okay. Full on smash into the ground. Let's go get this thing and see what the damage is. Okay, so I see the battery over here. Apparently I can't, that's the only con is you can't, there's no voltage alarm or location alarm if the battery's out, obviously, on any quad like this. Anyway, here's the battery. Wow, that battery looks a little bit slightly warped, a little bit concave. That must have been a really hard crash. So I'm assuming there may be some damage to the quad, but maybe not. Okay, broke another battery strap. And you can see that there's some mud in the motor there and some mud in the bottom. But let's just go ahead and walk back to our staging area and do a little pros and cons while we're walking back there. So what do I think about this thing? Man, is there anything to really say? This thing is a beast. Look at that. So I must have, oh, that was probably when I hit a tree branch. Look at this. So this prop has a really big notch in it. I couldn't even notice that when I was flying. Look at that. I just kept going. That's not going to happen over here in the grass. That would have happened when I hit one of those tree branches. This prop is fine. As you can see, I didn't put all black props. I just went ahead and replaced the ones that were broken. So a little bit of gunk in these motor guards, you know, so expect that to happen if you crash hard. But check this out, no broken arms, no broken anything. Even the prop is okay that hit the grass. This is unbelievable. So I'm going to want to kind of clear this out. Doesn't look like there's any electronics in there that this mud can really hurt. That's just under the camera. But just a little bit dirty and a broken battery strap and some you know, some broken props. Oh my gosh. So I have to say, overwhelmingly pleased with this thing. You know, you saw yourself how fast this thing is. It can handle 4S. Very light, super strong. I mean, look at this. I'd rather the battery straps break than these little carbon fiber slips, and it seems like there's little slits here where the battery straps go, and it seems like they took care of that. So it's engineered where the straps are going to break before you break your carbon fiber as far as the battery goes. The FPV, you know, that's the only problem for me. I was probably on the wrong channel. I should have double checked my channels, but that can be remedied with, you know, if it was an antenna, other antennas, or just the proper channel. That was probably my fault. Big pro is this camera. You can have a huge amount of tilt or keep it straight. Camera looked very good, was very clear, aside from my channel problem probably. Very powerful, can handle 4S. Oh my goodness, even on 3S it was insanely powerful. Oh, there's something I broke. Okay, so one of the motor feet on that one motor that really pummeled into the ground on that last crash. But hey, you know what, they give you 2 extra feet with the extra props and some extra prop nuts. So at least they cover you on, you know, if your first couple of crashes, and then you can buy some more of these motor guard feet if you want to. But that's it. So super impressed with the SWELLPRO Swift 2 carbon fiber, ready to fly out of the box, pre-tuned racing quadcopter. You could enter a race with this thing, I have no doubt. You know, get into acro mode and school some people with this thing out of the box. If you're a good racer, you know, you could do that, and you don't want to deal with buying everything separate and setting up your own deal here. This is a great kit. You know, it's a little more expensive than some of the other ones, but you really get what you pay for here. I have no doubt that people could win some races with this. Very happy with it. Anyway guys, I hope you like this review. Don't forget to check out the link down below the video in the description to see the current pricing on this and also more in-depth specs. Again, they did say that they are going to fix this labeling here, so it should be stabilized, intermediate, and then advanced will be on the bottom. And that's really all they have to fix on the controller. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I do a lot of reviews like this. Go ahead and check out my channel. I also do a lot of giveaways. I'm going to start giving away some better racing quads pretty soon. And anyway, happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for watching.